Hello friends, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I thought I would do like a face-to-face intro just for today because today's video is going to be my 2025 planner lineup. I usually do this later in the year, like in December, but I thought what I would do today is show you the planners that I would use like for planning, and then the ones I'm using for journaling, and like explaining the purpose of each. I still haven't like set up a lot of these. That'll kind of come like end of November into December. But so I thought today I would just do more so like a general overview of what my planning and journaling system will look like for next year. And then as we get closer to the end of the year or on into 2025, I'll actually do like a detailed flip of how each planner is set up or how I'm going to use it. Like some of the things I'm not going to show you the inside or the contents of like my Stream of Conscious journal, my commonplace book, because that is just my own personal notebook that I just have for me. But most of the things that I will show today are things that I do share on my channel for the most part. So I guess that's just going to be like the structure of it. I do kind of want to like give the blanket statement of if you are a planner, you don't need all these planners. I use multiple planners every single year because I like it and I find joy in it. And really only 2 to 3 of those planners I'm actually using for planning purposes. The rest of the tools that I use are either a way that I archive information or that I do like memory keeping, journaling, do things that are creative and things that I enjoy. So I like to kind of give that blanket disclaimer. And so while some people may look at this and be like, holy guacamole, that's a lot of stuff. For me, I like it. And it's a system that works for me. But again, it's part of one of my hobbies as well. And I really enjoy using paper products. And I like having like those archived systems or things that I keep on my bookshelf that I can look back on. Like I can't tell you how many times in 2024, I've looked back on my 2022 Hobonichi cousin and was like, oh my gosh, you guys remember this? You remember this? And it was just, those are fun things to do. So I'm going to kind of flip it around so you guys can see what's happening on my desk and go from there. Just let me know if you have questions and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so before we jump into what planners and journals really I'm going to be using in 2025, let's talk about what is in use for 2024. What I'm currently using and pretty much have been in all year in some capacity, and also how I intend on finishing this year. So let's talk about my planners first. So there are 2 planners that I don't really show on here a ton. Or at all, aside from like I review it and talk about it and say, hey, this is part of my system. My first one is my work planner, which because of the type of work I do, I can't share the contents of that. It is confidential information. But I have reviewed the planner that I use, and it's an inexpensive planner that I have found on Amazon that I really, really like. I did review it, I feel like this past summer, so I'll try to link that video up in the cards if you want to look at it, but you can find it on Amazon. It's less than $20, and this is my second year using the planner, and I'll use it in a third year as well. I use the Budget Moms Budget by Paycheck workbook. This year I purchased the spiral, like the actual physical planner, but I also have a copy of the digital planner. So I did not order the actual like physical planner for 2025 because I have the digital. So I'll just either print out or I'll do it digitally, whatever. I'll figure that part out, but I'm still going to use the Budget Moms system of planning. So just putting that out there. So those are like the 2 planners that they serve very specific roles in my life. I have my budget planner and then I have my work planner, but y'all don't ever see them because I don't share those. The other 2 planners that I use work together in tandem with one another, and they've been a great duo for the past several years now, or a few years, which is my personal rings. I've been planning in personal rings since 2020. And then Hobonichi Weeks, which is my neat and organized planner. And whereas before it used to be I did my cute planning in my personal rings, and then my Hobonichi Weeks was like my personal planner, they've kind of reversed, right? So my personal rings has actually been seeing the world with me. It's been going places, living in my purse. This is where I'm doing my on-the-go scribbly planning, and I've loved it. I bought inserts from Halifax this year that were already done. I had the entire year in my planner, and I could just whip this bad boy up and fill in anything that was coming up, and it was just right there in real time, and I loved it. So I had monthlies and weeklies in here, and I also dabbled in like daily planning on like just Stalogy paper and a highlighter. I also have like home reference, car maintenance, health vlogs, just random, honestly, random stuff in here. And then, like I said, my weeks has been my neat and organized planner, and I have really enjoyed setting this planner up every week, and that's usually what my Plan With Me videos consist of. So those are my 2 planners. And then as far as journaling goes, I have my B6. This is a Sterling Ink B6 journal or notebook, whatever you want to call it. And I think I bought like the imperfect one. I don't know where the imperfection was or what I missed, but this is how much of this notebook I've used. This is like my commonplace / stream of conscious journaling. As you can see, I put tabs on here if there's something I might want to reference back to give y'all some perspective. This is the B6 Stalogy that I completed that I used in 23 and 24 with all the little tabbies. And it is, honestly, it's just a clutter of my brain on paper. Just so much random stuff, quotes, thoughts, journaling, whatever I feel like putting in here. And I'm not quitting this until the book is finished. So I will likely start 2025 in this notebook because I don't see myself using all of these pages up by the end of the year. So I will use this, throughout the rest of the year. And then lastly, I have the Hobonichi Han cousin, whatever you want to call it. It's the A5 size. This is my memory keeper / creative journal. I really have been enjoying this. It's been a fun book to fill up, but man, this bad boy is thick, and it was getting really hard to write on pages. But I figured out you can fold, even with this hardcover, you can fold the book over on its side. My biggest concern is like the cover doesn't close, but I like having these books to look back on. They're wonderful memory keepers. So that's my current system and what I'm using. My dogs are being something else. So let's talk about what I have planned for 2025, shall we? I'm going to make a couple of changes this year. And one of those I didn't even mention. I'm going to pull it out. I'm waiting on an insert to come. I had ordered an insert for it. Okay, so personal rings is staying in the mix. I haven't figured out solely like what information I'm keeping in here versus what I'm taking out. However, I did go ahead and buy my weekly and monthly inserts for this planner. I would have stuck with Halifax, but I don't know what Halifax was thinking. They put QR codes on their weeklies. They put QR codes throughout each day on their weeklies, and I hate it. It's so ugly. It takes up writing space. There are weeks that I go all the way across. I need this space. Like, look at this week, y'all. I need this space, and so I don't like it, and I was like, I'm not purchasing those. And so what I decided to do was I purchased the Plotter Bible size monthly insert and the weekly insert, and I just could not be bothered to print, cut, punch inserts. So that's why I went with these. And once I get these or get my, personal ring set up for 2025, I'll do a detailed flip, as I mentioned in the introduction. I'm just doing like an executive overview. But if you look at how thin that is. That is an entire year of weeklies. And these are actually week on 2 pages. So they're not going to be taking up a ton of space in my planner. And then here are the monthlies. So together, these are not taking up a ton of space in my planner. And my personal rings will be my on the go, but also my reference information that I keep in here. So I'm pretty much keeping it the same. I may add or take away sections, but it's pretty much going to serve the same purpose this year as it did last year. I'm going to be using my Through the Purple Night Hobonichi Weeks that my sweet husband bought me in a clear cover because I do not want to obstruct the view of this beautiful, beautiful artwork. I do have like a little page keeper here to keep it together, but this is going to be my neat planner like it was for this year. I'm still going to plan in this weekly in the way that I have been. There's something very satisfying about seeing an entire planner or notebook filled out with all of my plans for the year. So I am going to be in this as my weekly planner, very much in the same fashion that I'm using my weeks this year. Except it's just going to be in a whole nother weeks. And I love this art, so I'm glad I have it. I have another Hobonichi Weeks in this Liberty fabric. I can't think of the name of it, but it's really pretty. I also ordered a cover for this. This is going to be my health and wellness planner. I had a lot of health things this year that I wanted to continue tracking. Not just like negative like health issues. Like I've had a lot of issues with headaches and migraines. Probably the worst I've ever had in my entire life. And I've been dealing with headaches and migraines since I was 15. But a place where I'm tracking, you know, my exercise, my overall wellness, my sleep. I'm probably going to move some stuff that I was keeping in my weeks, like my headaches and migraines, are going to move into this week. So I have a planner that is specifically about my overall health and wellness. I do not have this set up yet, but I am going to go through this with a sticky note and start working on setting this up so that I can jump in here as soon as possible. And the Hobonichi Weeks starts on November 25th this year because December 1st is that Sunday. So I intend to start this week's as soon as it is available, which will be the week of Thanksgiving for us, but in the States. But that's the intention for this Hobonichi Weeks. So me having 2 weeks is not an issue at all. So those are my planners, right? Or archive of information. And then as far as memory keeping goes, I love this Liberty Fabrics cover. It's so cute. It is just so pretty and so cute. I did not get a clear cover on cover for it. I don't want it to be all clear cover and shiny and all that stuff. So this is, I think this is the Michelle. There's like cat hair on it. It's so funny. But this year I opted to go with the Avec for my memory keeper. And for a couple of reasons. Number one is good googly moogly. This thing is thick and chunky. So I kind of wanted to, because I'm not changing like what I would put in this. There's a lot of photos, ephemera, stuff like that I keep in here. But also like just having like the satisfaction of like starting a new notebook in July. I'm kind of excited about that. So I'm considering like covering this page and just decorating it how I want to. I haven't started obviously yet. I haven't started setting up any of these. I just have them in my possession. So this will be my memory keeper / journal. The change that I know that I'm gonna make is this year I was using this tracker to keep track of like exercise and steps and things of that nature. And then I used the monthly calendars to note like specifically what workouts I did. But because I'm moving into this health and wellness of Hobonichi Weeks this year, I'm actually going to be tracking a lot of that stuff in here. So I'm probably going to shift to utilizing the monthlies for like a, you know, memory of the day, gratitude of the day, something to that effect, and then figuring out how I'm going to use that little tracker section. I haven't quite figured it out. If anyone has suggestions, you know, I'm always down to listen. So yeah, that's going to be my memory keeper. And then as far as just random notebooks, I have this pocket moleskin. It's actually a daily planner that I just like use stickers that I had to cover up the dates and white out and stuff like that. And this, like, you know, Sophie writes in here, I write in here. I don't really care about the dates. This is just a random notebook a lot of times. I have a lot of like random, like either spiral notebooks or pocket notebooks that I like to keep with me because sometimes Sophie draws. Sometimes I just want to write stuff. So this doesn't really have a purpose aside from I have it. In this little, I can't remember where I got this little cover from, but it's cute and it's beat up and it scratches, and I actually really like it. So this is just a random notebook. When I do finish my B6 notebook, I have options for journals, right? I have this cousin that I cut down to a B6 size. I bought this blank A5 Hobonichi notebook that I can use. You know, and this, because it's blank, I have options. I also have, I meant to pull all this stuff out, y'all, and I forgot. My house is so chaotic all the time. I have this Good Ink Impressions notebook that I bought from Barnes & Noble that has Tomoe River paper in it. So I have options, right? Like I have lots of options for notebooks that I can use for, you know, the upcoming year as a journal. So just whenever I finish, like I've already bent that, but whenever I finish the B6, then I'll just move on to the next journal, whichever one I, in that moment, decide to use. I have this Moleskin. This was a large Moleskin daily soft cover that I cut down to, I don't know what size you would call this. My goal was to cut it down to like the width of a week's. I mean, I did okay. Really, I wanted to cut it down enough to where I cut the dates off because this was a daily as well. And this is going to be a notebook that I use for some career planning stuff that I have going on in my life, that I really am going to hone in on and focus on for 2025. And I just have them in scale and leather cover. So I have said that that's what this notebook is going to be for. That way all that information is in one place and I'm not scrambling around looking for it. Because if I was to put it in the, you know, the bottomless pit of thoughts and nonsense, I would lose it. So this is what I'm going to use for these career planning things that I have going on. And then lastly, this was kind of like a spur of the moment decision that I made. I had bought this Tokyo standard size traveler's notebook. I love this. Like, I am not a traveler's notebook girly, y'all. I don't know. It's not my favorite thing in the world. But y'all, I love this. I need to loosen up this string in the back. I'm not going to use this insert. I actually purchased an insert that I'm going to use, and this is going to be my actual, like, so this is going to be my travel journal. We have some trips planned in 2025, actually, like, end of this year, and then a lot of places in 2025. I'm not going to use this insert because I purchased one from Amazon that I want to use. But I am going to use this as my travel journal, like just really for funsies for me. I still journal about them in my memory keeper, but this might be a little bit more detailed. I might like stick in more like ephemera, and write like specifics about things like that. So I thought that would be like a fun way to use this, this that I bought in April, and it's just been sitting in its dust bag. So, yeah. Why is that ripped? Is it supposed to be like that, y'all? Anyway, I just noticed that. But, yeah, so that's how what I intend to do that for, or that was terrible English. That's how I intend to use that. So, I guess in summary, it seems like I'll have more notebooks and journals than I will actual planners. I don't even know that my health and wellness planner would be considered a planner. It's more of a journal or archive. So really, y'all, I'm only planning in 2 books, right? And that's going to be my personal rings and the Hobonichi weeks, which I'm very excited about. And surprise, surprise, not a whole lot changed, right? My system works. I like my system, and it's fun for me. And I just, I don't see a need to change it if it's working and I'm finding it to be enjoyable. So that's how I look at it. But I do have quite a few journals in the mix for 2025. No pressure, right, to use all of them. I also have some other like side projects, like things that I make for my kids that I don't share. They're very private and personal. But those are, again, that falls into like the hobby aspect, the hobby of what I enjoy doing. So for somebody who is like maybe sees like a photo of like, this is my 2025 planner lineup, you're like, probably like, good grief, woman. That's a lot of stuff, right? But wow, they all serve very different purposes. And I'm only planning in 2 of these. The rest of them are like fun and for, my enjoyment. And that's awesome, right? So yeah, but anyway, that is my plan for 2025. As time goes on, I will definitely share, especially once I get like my health and wellness planner set up. I will continue. My goal is to continue with the monthly flips of like my personal rings, my weeks, and my cousin or my Avec for this year. So, and then some of these I don't share at all because that's, the stuff written in there is very private and personal. So, but the things that I have been doing, I will share. I'm not 100% certain if I'll be sharing flips of my health and wellness planner. It just kind of honestly just depends on how things go. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Well, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And as I get things set up, I'll definitely do like flips, detailed flips, explaining how I'm using this, especially like my health planner. Maybe not filled in, but maybe once I get it started, I can share that with you guys. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I will see you guys in my next video, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye, friends.